Okay, so I'm getting, these comments. Actually, it's not a lot anymore. A lot of the folk that were heckling the channel, they've either run away or I blocked them because they got, super weird, like insane. But this one comment is very interesting. This person is saying, why would PlayStation allow for its consumers to leave when it can make 100% on its games? And to that, I've already given, basically the equation that 100 is greater than 70 and 70 is greater than 30. And when 100 no longer is coming in, go for 70. And if at any rate you can't get 70, take 30 anyways, because all you got to do is just basically chill and you get 30. Pretty much third party games giving you 30%. Now, here's the crazy thing. A lot of folk don't think PlayStation should take its games day one to PC. I want to take a different stance on that. Why don't they keep their games and lock it on their platform, on PlayStation, forever? Don't bring it to any other platform. I dare PlayStation to try it for the next 3, 4, 5 years. Don't launch any of your games, their PlayStation, on any other platform. Don't bring it as a timed exclusive. Don't worry about it. Forget it. Keep it all on PlayStation. Do it. I'm now pointing this whole conversation the other way. They should keep their games on PlayStation. Let them do it. Let's try it out for the next few years. Let's see how that works out. Because it seems like no one has actually considered the ramifications if they actually did this. And PC players are now starting to look and say, we don't even want to play these games when they come down the road later. They're asking for PSN requirements. They're looking for MAUs or whatever it is they're looking for. And I say they might as well just go ahead and keep the games on the PlayStation platform. I have a PlayStation. I'll play them there. I mean, as a gamer, and there's a game that I'm interested in and I have access to, I'll play it. But let's see if PC players like, Herman Holst came out and said that their hope is that PC players will play some of their games and then eventually move over to their platform to explore the sequels and the anthologies. That's what he said. Remember that statement when he said that? And the news, station said, the media said, this guy is expecting PC fans who literally ignored Kingdom Hearts that they waited for basically, about a decade to move from Epic Games to Steam before they finally bought it. Those are the people that he's waiting for to go buy a PlayStation and play those games. So I dare PlayStation and all you hyper fanboys, I dare PlayStation in front of all of you to keep their games 100% exclusive to the PlayStation platform, and let's see how that plays out for them. Let's see how it goes. We're already midway through the generation. Spider-Man is coming very soon. Let's lock it down. Let's not bring anything else to the PC platform. Let's just call all this a mistake. It's a lot of mistakes, but let's just call it all a mistake, okay? Let's just say, all of this did not happen, guys. You did not see us drop literally our entire library on PC. You literally didn't see it. It was just a wash. It was a mirage. You are living in an alternate universe. You're crazy. There's just no way for you to pretty much go ahead and think that this is all PlayStation bringing their games. You didn't even see the, live service games. Nothing. Just keep it. Lock them down all on PlayStation as a platform. Let's see what that plays out to be. Because at some point, you really got to call the bluff of a lot of these hyper fans that ignore the reality of the market. Like, if you don't do it, they'll just keep talking in circles. They'll just keep talking and talking and talking. They'll never, ever want to sit down and actually think about what they're saying. This person comes back with the same comment. They said, Spider-Man is making 100% on PSN. Well, we know, but somewhere, somehow, it appears that the 100% seems to not be enough. Or maybe PlayStation has now become benevolent and they just want to all give us Spider-Man 2 to play. Maybe that's what they want to do. They just looked and said, oh, poor PC players. Why don't we just give them a game to play? When, on Steam, we got 15,000 games literally already launched in the month of November for the whole of 2024, right? And PlayStation looked upon us with mercy and with, a little bit of pity and said, oh, well, let's just give them Spider-Man to play next year. That's what happened. Days Gone is also making 100%. Well, great. Why didn't they make the sequel then if it was basically raking in all this 100% in terms of sales? Ratchet and Clank, same thing. Did that game not basically fall behind Astrobot? Did we not see the numbers? Returnal, the same thing. The same thing what? Why aren't they commissioning Returnals everywhere? How many copies were sold on the PlayStation platform? God of War, same thing. It sold 15 million copies. Great. But was that enough for PlayStation? They should have locked it on the ecosystem. I already played it on PlayStation. I beat it. They should have locked it there. Why did they bother bringing it to PC? Ragnarok, the same thing. They should have locked Ragnarok to, to PlayStation as well. They're saying this. It's basically saying that letting consumers go to another platform when they can make 100% off of them is not even accounting for their subscriptions. You see, if a platform cannot hold the player based on other value propositions, then that platform is a weak platform. It's a platform that needs to basically, in a sense, rethink its strategy, else it will lose its customers automatically. If those customers are only buying a console for, the fact that the game is exclusive rather than the fact that the game is available there, then those customers are not serious about their gaming in the first place. They're just buying something that makes them feel good. And at the moment where it doesn't make them feel good anyways, they'll flail. So that wasn't even a customer that was necessarily interested in the fundamental gaming aspect anyways. So again, I say, PlayStation, keep your games. They said making 30% off of games that you never made or invested is a huge win. It is. But here's the thing. Mathematically, 70% is still greater than 30%. Whether you make 30% not making the game or you make 70% having made the game, you're winning. And the 70% means you're winning more. So sure, PlayStation is making 30% off of Call of Duty, but Xbox is winning 70%. And 70 is greater than 30, so Xbox is winning more. You can try to spin it how you want. Math doesn't care about your feelings. When hours count, the sun rises, well, technically the sun rises. It does rise. And the sun sets based on mathematical realities. Even though we may see or think of them as random, they're not random. They are based on values across the universe that we live in. You can't change it. I'm sorry. I'm not even sorry. No. I'm not sorry because that's just reality. I can't apologize to you for reality, for your choice to ignore it. And they cite this whole thing. Last year, PlayStation made close to $90 billion. Close to $90 billion. Sony made 33% from what was the gaming sector. So basically from Sony's revenues, which is like 30 billion, and 730 million was from PC. So what they're saying is the PC is not worth the squeeze. Then they need not waste the effort. They need not be spending all that money on Nixes to make these ports. They just need to take all that money and reinvest back into the PlayStation ecosystem and do what Nintendo is doing. Let them do it. Let's see how it works out for them for the next 5 years, seeing how the gaming market is so saturated that you will not recognize any PlayStation entity anymore in the next 5 years if they dare do it. They won't. They can't. It's one of those dares. Like they will not do it. They can't do it. In fact, they're absolutely refusing and doing the exact opposite right in front of everybody that's trying to fight for this exclusivity crap that you're all here blowstring noise on YouTube about. Makes no sense to me because it's very funny. Very funny. And then they're talking about, PC games. Also, last I checked, 1 out of every 10 PC gamers pirates their games. And 1 out of 10. So that 1 is now somehow, significant in the 10 when 9 is greater than 1. This is the problem that we have in this conversation. There are people who choose to actually ignore mathematical realities and want to somehow engage in their personal belief over what's going on rather than following the evidence and seeing the shift and the change in the market. You act like PlayStation is some special entity that is immune from market forces. If they are, let's test it out. Let's give it a test run. Let's see how that goes. Do you guys actually think I'm making this video so that PlayStation kind of loses? Do you think I want a world where Microsoft is controlling a lot of the gaming? As a PC player, you think I don't know better? You think I don't understand that a strong competitor against Xbox and Microsoft's capability to slowly, carefully, methodically dominate the gaming industry is not important? You simply think this is a fanboy enterprise. You're blinded by the nonsense you've been fed on the internet. So you come on this channel, and because I've been really patient, and you spew this crap that you're just talking about. Because what? I want to play on a console? Are you kidding me? This is, in my opinion, kind of the most asinine thing that I've ever seen in my life. It's not even akin to middle school children fooling around. I cannot believe that grown adults are doing this. It is shocking to me that some attachment to a box has made you lose your sense of objectivity. In front of you, PlayStation is saying that they have been leapfrogged over. They're saying that they are getting basically dominated by Xbox. And I'm making videos proposing solutions, yet all these hyper PlayStation fans want to do is hold on to a fake flailing pillar that is already pretty much faded away. And they want to come on the channel and write big texts of paragraphs of nothingness. Empty crap that is not going to move anything. While you're yelling and shouting, PlayStation has pretty much left you in the dust. And you held on to their leg and they kicked you and said, let me go, let me move, let me fly. And their games are on PC day one. This is why I'm going to celebrate the launch, God willing, of Lego Horizon Adventures, because they're ready to compete. You don't even understand that their move is to actually have them compete. It's not for them to basically ruin their brand. If they have no money, their brand is toast. You don't get it? Don't you get it? Like if they don't have any, if PlayStation is not profitable, if it's not making money, they will get cut by, it will be death by 1,000 cuts. Investors will punish them. When they reduced their projections for how many consoles they were going to sell, the investors pretty much created a scenario where they lost $10 billion of their market valuation. Do you not see what's good? Do you not see why Xbox pretty much just stays quiet about its console sales, doesn't talk about it anymore? Because they've avoided the investor punishment that comes with it. See, this might just be too much. We might just need to go to talking about stupid game mechanics and all this nonsense, irrelevant crap that doesn't even really, dial into what we're trying to do here, and just simplify it from a perspective of, everybody just, it's all fun and games. Because if we try to talk sense, I think it just becomes more and more frustrating to see how everybody wants to basically weave and dodge what reality is. I feel like this sometimes, but then I go back and I calm down, and then I'm like, it's not that serious. Sometimes it can get really interesting at the end of the day. That a lot of these folks just think that somehow I'm against PlayStation. You don't see the bigger picture. And maybe it's my fault. Maybe I've not communicated the bigger picture to you. And I take responsibility for that. But why would anybody think that I don't want a competitor there? I'm a chess player. I benefited from the fact that AMD checkmated Intel. I was sitting right there and I looked and I rejoiced and I said, this is what competition can do. I didn't run around Intel fanboying like all the Intel fanboys out there. I just laughed and just bought myself an AMD CPU. I bought two. I asked my wife, hey, do you want one? I bought one for her. I was like, hey, AMD's winning. Yeah. I was happy. And I'm here to basically have this conversation to see PlayStation grow. The criticism and the demands for better that the PlayStation hyperfans refuse to do, someone's going to have to do it. I volunteer.